What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here to talk about the Belle Collective. I didn't take any notes, so I'm just going to go by what I remember. This is not going to be a long review because I feel like the episode was a filler episode. That's what I felt like. I felt like this is a filler, which is normal around episode 5 or 6. You get like a filler. Starts off with Latrice. I think this is episode 5. So if you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment and let me know that you stopped by. I think I need to clean these glasses. Yeah, I do. I feel like I was feeling like it was a mark on the glasses. So let me see if I can put these on in the meantime. These have a big spot on them too. These are my not my throwaway, but my like I'm just using these. I just wanted to wear some black frames for a second. I love my black matte frames. So they start off, okay, hold on. I want to start off, it starts off with Latrice, and she is like packing. She's getting ready to go. They're going to, the last time they were together, they were on, girl, I really just slapped this thing on here. I'm going to tell you how I literally slapped it on here. And I literally just, it was already tied like this. I didn't untie it. I just fit it around my head. We're bald again. We are bald again, girl. Bald headed scallywag tea. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it's giving. Bald headed scallywag tea. So I got to make sure my ears are covered. And then we put a little like this. And we do a little like this. You know, girl, it's just doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just doing whatever. But let me clean these glasses. So Latrice is packing, right? So she's packing up her clothes, and Cliff comes in there, and he was saying, hold on, let's see. Cliff comes in the door. I really truly, I was looking at him sitting at that table. These glasses are, look at these glasses, look like toddlers have been licking it. She I want to see pictures of Cliff when he was younger. I need to, when he was sitting at that table and I was just looking at him, I was like, I need to see him when he was younger because I want to see what all the fuss is about. You know, that little high yellow nigga down in Mississippi was getting all the cootie cat. I know he was. I already know he was. That's why I said I want to see him when he was younger. He was a side nigga. You understand what I'm saying? So anyways, they start talking a little bit about the pool party. And they were like, yeah, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot. I didn't know Amanda was going to do that. That's what she said. I don't believe her. Girl, I do not believe Latrice didn't know Amanda was going to do that. Nope. And what she should have told her before the party got started is don't make any comments um, towards what's the guy's name? Glendale. Don't make no comments towards him because just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And it kind of goes like the way that, like when we first met, I don't know if we first met Amanda when we saw her on the screen when she showed the DMs, but when she showed those DMs, I can imagine as friends that you didn't tell her in advance or when it happened, right? Because apparently he was trying to talk to her back 2 years ago. And then just recently, like February or something, after they made their recommitment. I do not believe that this entire time that Latrice did not know that Glenn has been in what's her name's DMs again. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. She said she met with Amanda. Amanda apologized. She said it was a wrong set and setting. That's what she admitted. Um, Cliff tells her, oh, she asked him, while I'm gone, are you going to be, where are you going to stay? Like, are you going to stay at the house? Are you going to stay at above Taste? And he was like, since you're not going to be here, I'm just going to stay above Taste so I don't have to drive back and forth. You're not going to be here, so I don't need to come home. And she was like, okay, but when I get back from Biloxi, we changing this up. You're gonna be coming, you need to come home more. You don't need to be staying overnight at Taste. I'm telling you, the way to alleviate that problem is to put cameras in those condos. At least in the hall, I'm putting cameras in the hallway of the condos, so I can see who's coming in and out of that door. Period. Oh, for privacy purposes, if you don't want any cameras in the house, that's fine. But it's gonna be a camera in the hallway, so we can see who's coming in and out that door. She clearly. Oh, and then like, okay, so while she was up there, oh yeah, I remember this part. She was up there, you know, packing and stuff, and he's down there. You see him plating some food from some, like, containers, and he's plating the food. So when she comes downstairs, and she was like, "Oh," she was like, "Who you done got pregnant?" So she said, that's exactly what she said. He was like, "I ain't got nobody pregnant." She was like, "Well, what's going on? If you got something to tell me, you better tell me now." So it's clear that Latrice has some insecurities around her husband. And the crazy part is, y'all be looking for women when your men be cheating. That's where y'all be fucking up. That's where y'all be fucking up. Cause these niggas showed up to the pool party dressed alike. That's your nigga's nigga. Far as I'm concerned, Cliff and Glendale, instead of looking at these bitches, y'all need to be looking at them together. Girl, I've been watching too many serial killer documentaries where these niggas be having sex with men, be in whole marriages, and they're best friends, and they're all their friends, and they're hanging out. And they're going to the Elks Lodge, and they're going to the what is it called, the Rotary Club. They're having all these clubs and stuff like that. And you worried about your man cheating on you with a woman, girl. Hello. She says she doesn't want any drama. She doesn't want any drama with Lateshia, and that she just really wants to stay out of it. She was like, "I don't have nothing to do with this." But I said it before. I even put it in my title of one of the reviews. I think it was episode 4 or 3, and I put Latrice knew. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense that you didn't know ahead of time. Should I take this up? It doesn't make sense that you didn't know ahead of time. It really doesn't. And so I believe that Latrice knew. I also believe that when men hang around with men who cheat on their wives, they most likely cheat on their wives too. Birds of a feather flock together. The way they say, if it's one hoe in your crew, all y'all are hoes, right? Same thing. If you got one, for the men, if you got one hoe in your crew, all y'all some hoes. That's how I feel about it. I use the same. I'm telling you, I use the same rule. If one girl in the group is a floozy, then they trying to say all y'all floozies. So that's how I see it with the men. If one nigga in your crew is a whore, then I say all y'all are whores. That's how I see it. I do. I do. Um, she says, if I were to go and be on another man dancing and shaking ass on another man, would you have a problem with that? He said he would consider that cheating. And she says, I don't know if you around here throwing dick. That's what she said. So y'all tell me, for those who are married to men they don't trust, or to partners they don't trust, because we everybody, we all down here. So tell me, when you stopped trusting your partner, if are you still in the relationship with somebody you don't trust, or how long after you lost trust in the person did you stay in the relationship, or do you continue to stay in the relationship even though you don't trust the person, so that you feel like you have a man? Because I don't see the purpose of being in a relationship with somebody you don't trust. Now I figure you should have a healthy, like a healthy, I don't know, like a little distrust in most people, right? Because people are capable, right? And if they're capable, they might have the ability to execute what they're capable of doing. So you always have to have some type of, a little bit of like, a little mistrust. I believe like a healthy level of mistrust in most people. Because again, people are people, related or not, married or not, people are people, and people are going to do a lot of the times. And if it's a male, they're going to do what's best for them. Men literally operate on the guidebook of self-preservation. It's me first, and then y'all, right? And then and sometimes y'all get in the relationship and put him first and continue to do that. Feed into that me first, I'm the center, it's all around me. And women, feed into that. Anyway, so he was like, yeah, if you was around here throwing ass, then yeah, I'd call that cheating. I was like, okay, girl. Um, he told her she's controlling and I'm the man. Like even him saying that, she was like, okay, so if we're adults and I could do what I want to do, that means I can go shake my ass on somebody because I'm grown. I could do what I want to do, right? That's what you saying, basically. He was like, I'm the man. You can't be telling me what to do. That is the reason why young women should not be with old men, because older men still believe in gender roles. They still believe that they can be married and have girlfriends when that wasn't the agreement of the marital contract, right? They believe, and then you see the women actively participating in relationships where the man has other relationships and they still sitting right there. I ain't going nowhere. They're not going anywhere. They're not tearing up their family, I guess. I don't know. But I feel like Latrice is tied up with Cliff so deep that she can't really even get a divorce. I feel like he would. I feel like he would send her through it if they were to get a divorce. He just seems vindictive and petty. Hmm. All right. So then, let me see. So also, I think we need to talk about, I don't know if they're going to talk about it, but we do need to talk about Latrice's mistrust in her husband. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's something there in regards to that and why she doesn't trust him. And it's not about him. I feel like it probably is a little bit of her, like she said, her brothers dying and them not coming home and blah, blah, blah. Like the way that Selena was talking about her son and her relationship with Mike. I feel like there's a little bit of that there with Latrice, but I feel like it's more of a distrust in him being faithful to her. And, Latrice is a bad bitch, right? She's a bad bitch, but that doesn't matter. A lot of bad bitches get cheated on, right? Okay. So then we cut to Carrie. Carrie is invites the girls to have a crawfish boil. First of all, them damn crawfish did not look seasoned. Second of all, why are we putting them on bread and mayonnaise? Are we gonna put a little Old Bay seasoning on here? Like, can we like put a little lemon juice in the mayonnaise and some Old Bay seasoning and some pepper, maybe a little bit of hot sauce, and like make something else? Why is it just plain mayonnaise? I don't like that. I didn't understand that. I've never seen that. I'm not from the Gulf Coast or the down south. So I don't know. I mean, I eat crawfish, but only during crawfish season. And to me, crawfish is like, for me, it's like popping sunflower seeds. It's like eating popcorn to me. I think for a lot of people, like crawfish are good, but it's not enough. It's like, it's just basically a little tail, basically. And then like the juice from the head that you suck out, but it's not like it's something that you have to eat a lot of. So like yeah, put it all over the plate, all over the table. But to me, it's mostly about like sunflower seeds popping and cracking and sucking. And it's a whole little pop, throw it, get the tail, suck the juice, and then put it down. It's like, it's almost like a little, like a rhythm to it. And then I feel like that's really what makes crawfish or crawdads, whatever you want to call them. A lot of y'all call them mud something, mud something. because I guess you get them. They're like bottom. They're bottom feeders. Like lobsters are bottom feeders as well. So they do look like little lobsters. And Lateshia was acting like she has never had a crawfish before, which was weird. I figure in Mississippi they don't. Is that not? They don't. I know Louisiana. I mean, it's big on crawfish. I mean, I feel like down south it's just big on crawfish anyway. Um, yeah, but we do crawfish. We go to the little boil place and have them put the garlic butter all in the thing, so it's all just and the old base is all there. But crawfish is really to me like a snack, like. And how many can you eat? How many tails can you eat? So she was up there cracking them. Lateshia was acting like she didn't understand. Marie was also acting like she didn't understand what was going on. They didn't have anything else. There were no potatoes. There was no eggs. There was no corn down there. And I don't know, like if you eat, like to me, when I do crawfish, I'll put it in the mix with with the other stuff in the boil. So I'll have some crab legs, some eggs, some potatoes, some corn, right? And then your seafood. And if you're just doing crawdads and you just do crawfish and then you just put your sauce on it. And I really feel like it's just like a mouth and a hand and mouth kind of thing for some reason. So, anyways, they're sitting there talking. She didn't invite everybody. She only invited Selena, Lateshia, and Marie. She didn't invite Tamra or Latrice because she just wanted it to be a mellow thing. Lateshia is talking about how she really felt ambushed at the party and how she felt like those questions were set up for her and that they were attacking her family. I feel like the only way that somebody can quote attack your family is if somebody let down the gates, if somebody let down the drawbridge for the enemy to enter, and that's your husband. He's laying his dick down, and so he just allows anybody to enter the palace grounds, and you're unprotected. So the only reason why you felt like you were ambushed is because your husband put you in that position. Your husband is the root of this. You can be mad at Amanda, you can be mad at Latrice for the setup, but ultimately there would be no setup if your husband kept his dick in his pants and wasn't trying to stick his dick in other women after y'all have recommitted yourselves to each other at the beginning of the year. What you mad at Latrice for? That's what I was saying watching it. I was like, what you mad at me for? I step into the person, right? So I could try, how would I feel if it was me? If I was Latrice, I'd be like, what you mad at me for? And she told her at the end, if you mad at me, you need to be mad at your husband because none of this would exist if your husband wasn't a whore. And that's exactly what I would have said to her in the most polite way. I don't have to yell at you. You know your husband is a whore. You know you don't trust your husband, but you want to act like you don't trust the women around your husband. It's your husband that you don't trust. So if you mad at me, you need to be mad at your husband because none of this would be happening if it wasn't for your husband. Let's start at A. Well, what were you going to do if I told you? He almost had a baby on you. He had a pregnancy scare and you still sitting right there. In fact, you sat on a grand stage and told the public you would take care of his side baby.
I just, girl, stop.
So if I told you that Glenn was in Amanda's DMs, what would have been the next step for you? Looking crazy, talking about my man, my man, my man. At least I got a man. You a bitter bitch. You trying to take my man and all this other stuff. Is that what you would have done? Because you're not going anywhere. Like I really want to know what would be the straw for Lateshia. A disease, maybe a sexually transmitted disease, maybe or infection, maybe. Some girls don't leave. Some women don't leave after that. Y'all be burning, pussy be swollen, bumps and shit, and you still won't leave your man. I ain't leaving. I ain't leaving Kirk. And he done brought you all kind of bitch. He done stuck his. You know how they use that little stick in a petri dish? That's what they dicks are. Sticks in petri dishes, just going from one woman to the next, and then you wonder why your box smells like a goddamn box of mackerel. Oh, it's because your nigga is around here sticking his dick in everybody and then coming back and sticking it in you. And you still have unprotected sex with your cheating husband. You are insane. Because if you like, I figure like it would have to be like a disease or something. Like he would have to give you a disease in order for you to leave. But I don't know. I can't even say that. That she may not leave after that. Anyways, so they have their crab boil. She thinks it was a setup. Marie's just looking. Marie don't, she's cordial with Latrice, but she don't trust Latrice. So they're gonna go down to Biloxi, to the Gulf Coast, and they're gonna, just all the women are coming. She invited everybody, Tamra included. Tamra meets with Demon. I call him Demon. His name is Demon, but I call him Demon. Isn't his name spelled Demon? That looked like Demon to me. But anyway, that little girl looks just like him. She's cute. So she was sitting on the couch, and the baby was eating some snacks, and um Tambra's baby daddy comes through the door, and they give each other a hug. They sit down, and she basically is, she wants to discuss finances with him, and she says every time she wants to discuss finances, that he kind of shuts it down. She said she had a bank account ready for her daughter. She had all the stuff ready for her daughter. She was going to make sure it was done. And that's one thing I don't think I think that I think most women should, because relationships are not going to, like, most relationships aren't lasting 18 years. And for me, I feel like a lot of women, their child matures before their marriage does, right? And for a lot of children, there are studies that say that for a portion of your child's life, they will be raised with one parent. So I think most women who are married or in a relationship with a man, when they have the baby, I, I feel like you should always be prepared to take care of that baby on your own at some point during that child's life. Because the relationship with the father, just because a baby is there, the relationship with the father is not guaranteed. And for a study show, for a lot of men, when the baby comes and they're no longer the center of attention. Now, I'm not saying that's Damon and Tambra's case, but I'm talking in general based on the studies. Men, because we have positioned them as the center of everything, when the baby comes and they're no longer the center of everything, then the relationship tends to break down after that. Or if the woman gets ill, the relationship would break down, even if you have children. So to me, I feel like understanding that from the time your child is born to the time they turn 18, there might be a few years in that time where you're raising your child on your own. So with that understanding and acknowledging that, right, not living in a fantasy world, right, acknowledging that, going by studies, going by how humans behave, right, you gotta take that into account, how humans behave. And we have heard thousands of stories about how relationships break down. Some relationships break down after the baby arrives because a man is no longer the center of the world in the home. With that acknowledgement, with that acceptance, you prepare to raise your child. So I'm going to do everything that I would do, regardless if you're here or not. I'm going to open up her bank account. I'm going to get her little college fund account ready. I'm doing everything, whether you here or not. Now, what I do want to talk about is your finances. Now, to me, if you are not married, I'm not discussing my finances with you. Unless you're going to take a portion of your income and pay towards your daughter's future, however that looks. If you just want to do a direct deposit into her banking account, right, into her checking account, but you will not have access to her checking account, because again, I have a healthy level of mistrust, and you're not going to have connections to the child's bank account, because we don't need the child's bank account drained because you have some debt somewhere, and so you use your child's money. No, we're not doing that. I will have only access, but you can direct deposit into that account if you'd like to. But I don't need to know all of your finances. I just need to know how you're going to contribute to the child. I don't need to know everything else. Tamara wants to know everything about his finances. And then he was like, no, not really. Like, I'm not about to tell you. And then he was like, have y'all ever gone without? And she was like, we wouldn't go without, basically, whether you were contributing or not, we're not going without. That Tamra does not strike me as a person like literally waiting on somebody else to do something. But I do think it's a little odd that she wants to know about his finances. I don't need to know all your finances. I just need to know what your contribution will be to the child that you're helping raise. That's all. So whether you, like I said, whether what you want to do, I can go down to the courthouse and have a judge put in an order for you to pay child support, and we can drop the order to where you're just paying the money goes directly into her account, whatever, however it needs to look. But I need to know how much are you going to contribute, because I think a lot of men don't realize, I say non-custodial parents. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on, let me go lock the door. A lot of non-custodial parents don't understand the hidden fees of children, the small print. They don't read the small print. Hold on. All right, so yeah, so that's why I feel what's happening with Tambra. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all agree? Like, you don't need to know all his finances, right? So, because even when you go to court for child support, you don't need to know all his finances. He needs to give his finances so he could show, so they can determine how much he needs to contribute based on his finances. But you don't need all the details of how he's handling his finances. I don't think that, I don't, because I wouldn't want nobody telling me that they need access to all my finances to take care, so you can help take care of a child. You don't need to know everything that's going on over here. You just need to know how much money I'm going to put towards the upbringing of the child till its maturation. That's it. So that's it with them, Tambra. Who else? Crawfish boil. Oh, they go. Okay, so they make it down to Biloxi. They go on a little crocodile alligator tour on, on those down in the swamps, which looks really fun. I've never done that before, but it does look really fun. And when I watch the guys, them Creole guys that I watch, that I follow, so many Creoles that I follow on Instagram, and they all be in the damn swamps with the alligators or the crocodiles, rubbing the crocodiles and feeding the crocodiles. I would love to do that. I think when I go down to Louisiana, I'm gonna do a little swamp tour. Okay, I'm gonna come down and do a little swamp tour. Um, some of the Bells lean into adventure. Yeah, I don't. That's one thing I don't. I know everybody is not like an outdoorsy person. I feel like if you're not outdoorsy and you plan on complaining the entire time we're outdoors, why don't stay your ass indoors? Because I don't like that. There's just something about that. I had a friend who used to do that. Like, if it wasn't something that was to her liking, she would literally like she would change the entire mood of everything. No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. Just funky. Like, your attitude is funky. Take your musty ass attitude out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel with it. Um, so Kerri is already there. Kerri is hosting. So she's already there. They're gonna do a brunch when they get down there. And Lateshia told Kerri, kind of help me, kind of be my support. She was like, girl, I got you. So when they got there, they had their little swag bags, and then they go upstairs to pick the rooms. She said, this is how we're going to pick the rooms. We're going to go by the seniority. So the oldest person. So the oldest person is Marie, and she's 48. I think that Marie was 48. She 48 or 49. So she gets the big room. She was laying on the bed. She was like, I can't share rooms. I got lupus. I said, I know that's right. I can't share a room. I got alopecia. But, people with lupus need their rest for real. So shout out to the folks with lupus. Yeah, they need their rest. And so she needs her, she got a big ass bed. So Lateshia said so then they go, I think the next oldest person was Selena. She got her room. She's 48, I think. Selena looks good. She's 48. She got the next room. and then it was Tamra, who's 45, I believe, 45 or 46. So she got the next room. And then it was Lateshia and Latrice are the youngest. So they have to share the room with the bunk beds, girl. When I tell you them bunk beds was looking real cheap and janky. My whole thing is if you're going to get bunk beds, why don't you get full size bunk beds? I don't understand this twin size bunk bed shit. They make full size bunk beds, y'all. So people could literally have a good amount of space in a bunk bed instead of some twin size. And why the mattresses was looking like jail mattresses. I was like, why are the mattresses looking? Maybe it wasn't the mattresses that I was looking at. It was the chairs, the cushions on the chairs was like this thing. I was like, I need a little tufted, something little tufted to cushion my butt. Sitting down on these hard ass chairs. Anyways, so Lateshia and Latrice gotta share a room. So they were like, oh my God, oh my God. So they left, they went to the crocodile thing, and then they went to this place called 11, who the person knows Carrie. They're another restaurant person. He was cute. He has his little like circle glasses on, his little circle frames. And he, seemed like he didn't know what to say, but he was like, enjoy our hospitality. And, they brought out the first thing they didn't bring. See, this is what I didn't like. All I saw was them bring out some oysters. I didn't see no food come out after that. And then they were talking about how they had a good time or so. I don't remember. Did they? Oh, it was to be continued. So some more stuff is going to come out. Because when they sat down at the table, everybody was getting their stuff together. They bring out some oysters. The women try the oysters. Of course, Marie got her face turned up. Marie, what do you want? Some chicken fingers, some tater tots? What do you want, girl? When I tell you I can't stand a bitch with I'm sorry, with a weird ass palate, I just don't understand it. Cause baby, I'm trying everything. I'm eating everything. I'm trying everything. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna taste it. Okay, I'm just gonna taste it. It may not taste good. I may not even like it, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. A lot of people don't like the texture of oysters. I'm sorry. I You slurp it down and then you got to chew it a little bit. To me, you got to chew it. There's no point of just like a shooter is a different. A oyster shooter is different. You just swallow the whole thing with the shot. But if you're just taking them out of the half shell, I feel like you have to chew it a little bit so you can get the flavor. Y'all don't chew your oysters. You just swallow them. Like, what's the point? I guess some people don't like the texture. I don't mind it. Just put some hot sauce, some lemon, that stuff. What do they call the stuff that they put on there with the onions and stuff? It's like a little brown liquid. I forgot what they call it. That should be so good. I be wanting to drink that shit. That should be so good with the onions in it, and it has like a little lemon juice in it. It's dark. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all will put it in the damn chat. I love that shit. I literally can just take a spoon and just eat that shit. It's good. So they sitting at the table at 11. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I got everything. I'm looking at a synopsis. So hold on. Of the episode. Okay, so they sitting at the table. So Latrice says, we want, not Latrice, Lateshia says, we want to talk about, like what's going on. I want to talk about, the pool party. Let's talk about this pool party. So Latrice was like, oh my God, not the pool party, girl. So she was like, I don't know nothing. I wasn't involved. The questions were not, I did not write the questions. And you know what? Shout out to the producers because they did show a scene where Latrice was asking that other woman. They showed her on the clip with the clipboard. She had a little notepad in her hand. She was the one who came up with the questions. And we saw Latrice ask her to come up with the questions. So I believe Latrice in that. I mean, I don't know if she, for me, if I give you the task to come up with the questions, I'm going to review the questions and be like, okay, we're not asking this one. We can ask this one, but we can't ask this one. We can't ask this group of people if somebody is attracted to the other person. Me, like I said on my last review, if you ask me that and I'm in a room with my partner and everybody's partnered up, I'm gonna say I think everyone in here is attractive. The men, the women, I think everybody looks good. You guys, your partnering looks great. I mean, that's just another way to answer that question. And I do find it annoying how certain human beings can be so sexually driven, like literally sex is like their kind of motivation. But then when it's time to talk about sex, they act real like weird about actually verbalizing and talking about sex and attractiveness and stuff like that. It's very weird. And or they'll act like childish about it. And it's weird. I'm like, you have so much power to actually do this, have this act, but then when it's time to talk about the act, you're embarrassed and you start acting like a little prude or whatever. I don't know. Oh, see, now it's coming out. All right, hold on. Let me put it back. Okay. This is more like it. I just like having something on my head. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Even bald headed, I like to have something on my head. Anyways, so I tell you, I'll be throwing it on top of my head. Okay, so then Latrice says, oh, they asked Latrice, does she, okay, so Lateshia goes, from your perspective, have you with your own eyes ever seen my husband doing something wrong? And she was like, and then Marie was like, that's the answer right there. They're going to answer. So that tells me the fact that you can't answer it right away, like, no, I've never seen your husband. No, you have seen her husband. You've seen her husband because Amanda said at Taste, he was dancing with her and had his arms around her waist. And even Javon had to tell him, take your hands off of Amanda. So you are attracted to, I'm attracted to nobody but my wife. Shut up. You cheat on your wife. So it's obviously you are attracted to other women, you asshole. I don't like when men gaslight. That's what really pisses me off. I don't like the gaslighting. I don't like deflecting. I don't like the childish behavior when it's time to actually get down to the root of the problem. Has this not been clean the entire time? I don't like that. I don't like no childish ass man who wants to cheat on his wife, but you can't talk about sex and you can't talk about being attracted to somebody. Girl, fuck you. Childish ass niggas. Um, let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, so that's what Kerri was like. We just need a different scenery. So one of them said we just need a change of scenery. Maybe that'll help the girls. I think Latrice said that. Um, okay, hold on. I think that's it. Functions, and then like it's to be continued because they didn't get Latrice's answer. They didn't get Latrice's answer. All right. Glenn is in my DMs. Glendale's not this again. Um, what's her name said, I feel like I have never in my life been humiliated, disrespected, embarrassed in my friend's house by your husband's actions. Every time I'm gonna redirect you right back to your husband. Every single time. I don't know what okay, so what would be your expectations? Now I'm gonna ask you another question. What would be your expectations of your friends, right? If they saw your husband doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing, considering the history of him doing stuff to you in the past and you not budging, you don't move, you just go sleep in Joshua's room. Girl, I'm sleeping with Joshua. No, y'all need, first of all, y'all need a third bedroom. That's what it sounds like. So Glenn can have his own bedroom and you can have your own bedroom. That's what it sounds like. Because every time my dad does something wrong to you, I don't want you jumping in my motherfucking bed, weirdo. Get out of my bed. Go into your own bed. Joshua doesn't know, but when he gets older, he's going to be like, and I was watching, Peach McIntyre, the one with the 9 kids, and her husband Wood. They've been going through it, right? So I've been watching their little stuff. They've been going through it. And damn, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Sleep in another room. What was I saying? She needs to sleep in. Oh, her oldest child. Her oldest child. I think he's like 18 or 19, the oldest one out of all her 9 kids. She said something yesterday. They went out to eat, just them two. And she said something, I don't need you to hate your father, or something like that. I don't need you to not like your father. I can hate my husband enough by myself. So he's a legal adult now, but he's watched his mother and father since they were in their teenagers go through the roller coaster of their relationship, then having 8 other kids at the end of it, right? She got a set of twins that are like, I don't even think they 6 months old. They real little. Um, but the son, when she said, you don't have to not like your father. I can hate my husband enough. I can do it enough. So it sounds like her oldest son doesn't like his father because he's watched his father mistreat his mother. And the mother not move. To me, I feel like you're showing your sons that you're a weak bitch. You're showing your kids that you're a weak bitch, that you are stressing them out, not only stressing yourself out, but stressing them out by maintaining a relationship with somebody that causes chaos and confusion in your home. So they're watching you kick this man out, take him back, file for divorce, rescind the divorce. Like, what are you doing? And what example are you setting for the human beings watching you as an example? What are you teaching your kids? Pretty soon Joshua was going to tell her, you can't come in my room every single time my dad does something to you. Instead of coming to my room, maintain your room and kick his ass out. Go get a third bedroom. I'm telling you, there's no way that you need to, and then you like um go and sleep in your son's room. Girl, you go and sleep in his room. I'm maintaining my comfortability in my room. You're not going to change my level of comfort because you're a dickhead. You're not. So you get the fuck out because I'm not going anywhere. So you need to go sleep in another room until I'm done being mad about you trying to talk to Amanda just as recent as February. So it's to be continued. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's get down in the comments. I think Latrice knew. I feel like Latrice has seen Glendale do something that he shouldn't be doing. But what is the expectation of your friend? If she sees your husband doing something he shouldn't be doing, but when you find out what he shouldn't be doing, you don't do anything. So why would I tell you that I saw your husband with his arms around Amanda? What is that going to do? You're just gonna be mad at me and Amanda. You're not gonna be mad at him enough to get him the fuck up out your shit. Like I said, I don't know what a lot of women need to happen for them to realize they shouldn't be in relationships with these men or shouldn't maintain the relationship. I don't know, because I feel like you're showing your kids that you're a weak bitch. And I know it takes a while, but like after all this, he didn't almost had a baby on you. And then like since we're on season, what season is this? Is this season 6? Since the very beginning, Letitia's storyline has been her husband and his unfaithfulness, and you just being looking like a big fucking bull, not doing anything about it, looking like a fucking idiot. And to me, I promise you, I would not be able to receive anything from you as a person offering empowerment. You are completely disempowered in your relationship. How can you empower someone when you don't even have the power within yourself to see your own value to the point where you will remove a man who has harming you physically, emotionally? I think when a man has sex with another woman in a relationship with his wife, girlfriend, if he's supposed to be monogamous and he goes out and has sex with somebody, I consider that sexual assault. I consider that emotional abuse. I consider that physical abuse and mental abuse. I do. Sexual abuse. I didn't mean to say sexual assault. Sexual abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, and physical abuse. That's how I see it. You've put that man put your life at risk. That woman could be full of AIDS. And because that's your man, you still have unprotected sex with him. Shout out to Prep. I have an ad. I'm not a partner or anything, but my ad for prep, if I was on their marketing team, the ad should be, if you have sex with men, comma, use prep, period. That's the billboard on a black background, white writing, period. That's it. And in small letters, contact your primary care doctor or clinic to find out more. Because these men are putting your lives at risk and you're not doing anything about it. And it's really, really sad considering the amount of Black women who make up the new cases of HIV from heterosexual relationships, from heterosexual contact. These women are getting HIV in droves because y'all trust these niggas more than you trust your own self and more than the self-worth that you have in yourself. Lateshia has no self-worth. You cannot teach empowerment to women when you are not empowered in your own relationship. You're letting this man risk your life. I cannot take any guidance from you. None. I can watch you and see how not to do it. Now that's something, but I'm not coming to you for no advice or nothing like that. You've been with this man since you was a child. You're not going anywhere. Same with Peach and her husband. They've been together since they were children. She got 9 kids. Luckily, Lateshia only got 1. But that's what y'all want to do. That's the life y'all want to live. Y'all better protect yourselves. Anyways, I gotta go. Um, did y'all want to talk about the Braxtons? I gotta go. I only watched the scene. I watched the dinner scene and then I watched a little bit of the scene with I don't like Tawanda. I don't really like none of the sisters. To me, I feel like I used to love Tracy. I used to love Trina. Like I liked Tracy because she just said what the fuck she wanted to say. Trina I used to like because she's a party girl, right? She liked to make drinks. Like when they first came on, I've never liked Tawanda. It was just been something very uptight. Like she literally has a pole up her ass. That's what it gives me. And the fact that she said she wanted to call the cops on Tamar, bitch, I would never talk to that hoe again ever. Let's call the cops. Let's press charges. So like eager. Like really? What did she do? What did she do? What did she do to Tony though? She just got in Tony's face too close for my liking. But anyways, I'll go because we don't want to turn this into a Braxton's review. I'll go and come back. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.